Have you ever experienced a time when someone was giving you the silent treatment? You know that something is wrong and they simply stare straight through you without making any verbal or non-verbal communication, looking at you completely blankly. Hello, my name is Lee and I'm the founder of High Performance Coaching and Training. And this is a series of videos that I'm putting together about handling difficult people. And today's topic, we're focusing on the nothing person. The nothing person, often they'll sit there and they just blank. They just don't respond to you in any way whatsoever. And you have general concern about what's the matter with them. And you may approach them and you say, I know there's something wrong, well, what's going on? Can you help me? And they say, obviously they reply and they say, nothing is wrong. And you persist and you know that there is something wrong and they simply don't respond to you. And when they do respond to you, they say to you, I told you there was nothing wrong with me. So now you're facing this nothing person and you're feeling so frustrated and you're feeling like, what do I do here? How can I get through to this person? What have I done now? Therefore, we have to understand that everyone communicates with an intention. And there's 4 intentions of why we communicate. And these 4 intentions are: 1, if I want to get along with someone, I will adapt my communication style so that I will get along with that person. Second one is, if I want to be appreciated, then I search for that appreciation. I want that person to show me that they appreciate, the activities that I'm doing. So I'm seeking for appreciation. The third intention is that I just want to get it done. I just want to get the activities done and I want to get it done right now. And the fourth one is I want to get it right. So the nothing person, they're either protecting themselves from withdrawing or they're using it as a punishment for the actions that you have taken or the actions that you haven't taken. What I mean by that is the actions that I've taken are the things that, maybe I didn't do something they expected me to do, or the actions that I didn't take that they wanted me to do something and I didn't do it. So I have to become a mind reader at times. But your purpose and your main goal with the nothing person is to get them to open up and talk to you. So here's your action plan. There's a 5-step action plan that will take you through this process. So the first one is allow time and to be patient with that person. So this can be a long process. And it's something that you have to allocate time for, because if they do open up, you don't want to cut the conversation short. You want to continue the conversation because remember the purpose is to get them to open up. So the second step then is to ask open-ended questions, but also to have expectation that they are going to respond. So these types of questions are the questions that we ask with the who, the where, the why, the what if, and the how. Those type of questions that start with those words. And an example of that would be what are the thoughts around this? Or how can we move forward with this project? So you're asking an open-ended question. An open-ended question means that they can't answer the question with one-word answer. They have to engage a conversation. But the important thing is that once you ask that question, you need to be quiet and you need to look at them with the expectation that they are going to respond to you. So you need to focus at them, and you may lean forward, for example, to indicate you're waiting for a response. You may also raise your eyebrows or maybe tilt your head to the side as though you're demonstrating wanting to listen really, really closely to what they have to say. So the non-verbal language there is quite important element as long as to add on to those questions. Then the third step is you may need to lighten up the situation. So the situation can become quite tense. And the way that you can lighten up the situation, of course, is you can use exaggeration, but do it with humour. But be aware that if that person is reacting to the humour and they're closing down more, then obviously the humour is not working in that particular moment with that person. So therefore you may apologise and state something like, I'm just trying to lighten up the situation here. Would really help me if we can actually talk this through and have a deeper conversation around that. So you may have to acknowledge if your humour's not working, then you may need to apologise for that, but try to use it. And the other thing is exaggeration as well, or you may pull some funny facial features or do something really funny just to try and lighten up the situation if possible. Now, if that doesn't work, then you go to step 4. So step 4 is to try and guess what's going on with them. Try and put yourself into their shoes to have a better understanding of what could be happening in their mind. And this is where you start to reflect back on the events or the situations that have been leading up to this moment. So what's happened over the last few days or weeks that has led to this situation? And it could be simply like maybe you've been in a meeting and that person been working really hard on a project and you hadn't acknowledged that person for their efforts in front of other people. And if someone's after appreciation, then that will be something that will make them feel as though they're not appreciated. So they may withdraw because they feel like they're not being valued within the organisation. So how you can approach that is you put yourself in their shoes, you adapt the same body language as what they're doing, because people like to build rapport and people like to understand that you're similar to them. And you may just pose a question for them and you may say, I'm just guessing here, I may be completely off the mark. Is it because that during the last meeting last week, we didn't acknowledge you for all your hard work that you put in this project? So you're guessing. Now, people are more open to you guessing what they're thinking than just saying, this is what I think you're thinking. So if you frame it up as I'm just guessing here, that may open them up as well. And they may respond back that, no, that's not at all. And then, of course, then you'd go back to open questions to try and clarify and do the probing questions to find out what's really happening in that situation. So step 5 is show the future if nothing changes. And this is where you start use future directing. For example, you know that if you don't speak to me, it will simply make it harder for us to work together due to the tension that will occur. And do you really want to come to work that has that tension every day? So it's putting a future to them that if they don't communicate, then obviously they're not going to get their needs met. They're not going to actually have a better working relationship with you because they're not communicating. So they're just some of your steps for you to handle the nothing person. But the nothing person, remember your main goal is to try and get them to talk, and you may need to have a bit of patience with that as well. But using the future directing of being really straight and doing it with respect and letting them know how this will affect our future may be the key that will break through that silence. Hope you enjoyed today's session and look to talk to you again very soon. Take care. Bye.